My friend studied for hours for this math test while I did maybe like 20 minutes of practice, and I got an A, and my friend literally got an F. So what does that mean? Well, it means that not all studying methods are the same, are they equal. You can be studying for hours upon hours and still fail. Do you know why he got an F? Why he failed? Because he was so stressed in the moment when he got the test that his mind just went blank and he couldn't even calculate basically anything. While I was there stress-free, I don't really care what a grade I would get. I just wrote it the best I knew. And the fact that I was calm made me efficient and effective. Because I could think clearly. And all I needed to have would be just the way that you would calculate the specific, problems. With my Amarin, I don't really study. I study maybe like few hours per week max. And I've never got a worse grade than a B like at the end of the school year. And I think it is a much better way of like living this student life than to actually be grinding like in school and putting 5-6 hours per day studying. Now, of course, I'm not saying that's bad, okay? If you want to do that, fine. But I think that this is just a more superior way of living when you don't have to study as much and still get the better and still get good grades like the nerds would get. And even slightly better, There are times when I get better grades than people who study much more than me. And it's only because of my mindset and because I'm calm and because I use efficient tactics to learn. So yeah, I think that it's way better to study for like a half an hour per day and actually have the time to live your life and do whatever it is that you want instead of just being buried in books. And yeah, you possibly may get like an A plus instead of getting A minus. I would rather have the A minus and save hours of time. That's just honestly my opinion. And if you agree that this lifestyle is better, I've prepared a whole video course on how to live this life. The link is in the description, so click it right now. Now, if I could give you advice on how to actually study less and still get better grades, well, I would firstly look at how you're living. You probably have a lot of unoptimized ways that you live, So for example, we could fix your sleep, because if you learn something, then your brain needs to process it in the sleep. And when you don't sleep enough, guess what is going to happen? Your brain is not going to be able to store the information so well in your brain compared to if you got like 8 to 9 hours of sleep. So you can be studying all day, all night, but if you don't sleep, it's just gone. It's gone like this. Or at least it's not stored as well enough as if you had the full sleep. So firstly, try to fix your sleep. You honestly should get like somewhere around 8 hours daily. The thing that you need to do is to go to sleep and wake up at the same time every single day. It doesn't matter what day it is. It could be a weekend, it could be a work day. You need to have this same routine. And like 1 hour before bed, no screen time, and 3 hours before bed, don't eat anything and you're golden. That's it. Now, you're probably right now studying inefficiently, like really inefficiently. You may be doing the busy work, fake busy work, which is just like highlighting the notes or just doing whatever. You need to cut out all of it. Just start from scratch, from zero. Imagine if you had to relearn how to study. This is the thing that you would do. You would take the material that was taught in the classroom, and you would take a piece of paper and create questions out of the material as if you were creating the test, just like the teacher. Now that you created the questions, I need you to take some time frame where you forget like the answers to the questions, because you're creating the questions based on the answers, so you have to have some time where you just forget. After that time has passed, answer the questions, see which ones you got correct, get the feedback loop going, and then repeat it constantly, again and again and again. This is a much better way than just like, reading the material. So yeah, another great way is to teach a friend, man. Teaching a friend is so powerful because you have to have some kind of deeper understanding of the topic. And when your friend starts to ask questions and you need to answer them, and if you don't know, then that's going to even more make you more knowledgeable about a certain topic. So yeah, do these tests every single day and teach someone. It doesn't necessarily have to be a friend, it can be a family member, whoever. Just someone who doesn't really know anything about the topic would do. Another great way to, there are two different types of learning. Like, you can learn when you know when the test is coming, which is great, You can just learn a few nights before, then you get like B+ or A-. And you don't have to spend really any time on studying. And then you have the second option, when you don't know when the test is coming. Now this is a much worse moment, and in my school personally, I'm aware basically of all the tests. Like, of course, there are some random tests that pop up out of nowhere, and my grade suffers a little bit from those. But what happens is that from all the planned tests, I have such high grades that they allow me to have like a 1 or 2 bad grades. So it kind of evens out. Now, if I had only random unplanned tests, then I would learn every single day. Now, I know it sounds horrible, but when you use the methods that I've just told you, it is that much more easier. You don't have to reread it all the time. You can just do the self-testing and teach a friend. That's all you need to do. And it doesn't have to be, obviously, every topic that you've, took. It has to be only the latest topic of each subject. So yeah, 2 separate occasions, when you know when the test is coming and when you don't know. So yeah, I just basically told you everything. If you want to improve even more, go to the link in the description, but it's only for people who are serious about saving their time and getting higher grades. So yeah, check it out.